Hello. Today I'd like to talk to you about how to get the Smile of a Child Christian television channel with on a satellite dish and on a receiver. Now this is the size of the receivers today. They're really not very big anymore. This is an Amico receiver that I use. This one won't do ultra high definition 4K, but it will do high definition. So you'll need to get one of these receivers. You'll need to get a linear KU band satellite dish with a linear, well, the dish, just a dish, but you'll need to get a linear KU LMB. Now the dish will be probably, this one's 90 centimeters, so it's a little bit bigger than your home subscription dish, but you can buy these. You can usually find them online. If you're in a big city, usually they'll have an electronics store, not like a name brand, but like a independent brand electronic stores sometimes will have these. So you want to get your dish, and you want to aim it at Galaxy 1997 West, where there's lots of other channels there. There's a lot of religious channels and news channels, and on that satellite that are free, unscrambled, in the clear, so you don't have to pay any monthly fees for them. They're just up there like basically how you get TVs with an over-the-air antenna. They don't even call Smile of a Child anymore, they just call it Smile. But I still refer to it as Smile of a Child. So that's another thing you want to do when you're looking up the frequencies for your free-to-air channels. Go to the website linksat.com. I'll put a link in the description below where you can find the frequencies for the channels that that you may want to scan in. And then also when you go to your receiver, you'll have to set up your LMB frequency to 10750 for your linear KU LMB. I've done other videos describing how to do that. So when you want to get Smile of a Child, you go right here to smileofachild.org. You can watch it right online on the browser, and I do know there's several streams like online. A Roku player can get it. I know you can get it on Kodi for free and legal on Kodi too, without having to like be naughty against the law. It talks about where to get Smile of a Child. One thing on their website, I think their website was done several years ago. They don't talk about their satellites stuff. They talk about their over the air. They talk about streaming, but they don't actually mention that they're available on Galaxy 1997 West and free online. So I'll just click on some of the shows here so we can look at what they have on here. Obviously they'll have VeggieTales, Brainy Baby. My kids and I have learned some sign language through watching this show, which I'm quite surprised at how educational the program is. Has Marilyn Dawn and Friends, Mickey's Farm. There's lots of programming on here, so check out this website for all the shows that are on Smile of a Child. As I say, you can watch it online for free. Has the schedule here. Check it out. If you want to go on Linksat and looking for it, now you go to Linksat. Make sure that you enter at the top of the page. You'll see these frequencies, which are the C-band frequencies. For example, AMG here, it's 3847. So you'll need a large dish to get that, and a C-band LMB. But if you scroll down here, you can see all of the Galaxy 19 free-to-air channels that are free and in the clear. Usually they'll have a little F next to it, and most of these channels are DVB-S, so you can actually get most of the channels on Galaxy 19 with even a 10-year-old receiver that doesn't do DVB-S2. But if you're going to buy a receiver, I highly recommend getting a modern high definition one, just because if they decide, which they probably will someday, switch to H.264 and be able to fit more channels on all the satellites. That will highly, you'll appreciate that probably within 5 to 10 years, because your receiver will still work for you. The receivers might not actually have a channel, like it'll assign a channel, so it's hard to say what channel it will be on. But you get your transponder frequencies when you do your setup at 12053, and it's vertical, and it's 2200, and is the symbol rate, and the FEC is 3 and 4. So, and on this transponder you have CNC World, TBN, Hillsong, Elaine's JUCE, Smile of a Child, and all those channels. And JUCE is like a teenager-centric channel. It used to be JUCE TV, but they've rebranded it to JUCE. And they have a Facebook page and etc. that you can check out as well.
Also, if you are interested in, say, PBS, because PBS now has a 24/7 kids channel that's free, and that's called PBS Kids. And most places where you get PBS over the air, it's a sub channel now, but not all places. So if you up here, we'll have a little thing saying how to get that for the PBS channels. Another video I've done. And oh yeah, and one more thing you'll need is a coax cable running to your into your house. Sometimes that might require you to getting a drill, drilling a hole through your house, and running the cable through. But if you already had satellite or cable and you're not using it now, you could use that. Possibly not with cable, because cable may use RG5 cable and not RG6 cable. So you want to make sure you have RG6 cable when you do that. So yeah, this is the receivers now. Receivers now, and here's the remote for this particular receiver. Receivers now, I think this one's like, I've seen them. Now in Canada, they're going to be more expensive because the dollar is really low in Canada. But I've seen them very reasonable, like under $100. I've seen receivers on Amazon and Alibaba, well under $100, $50. You know, depends on where you go, and depends on the exchange rate, and what the shipping would be. But some places they ship for nothing. So I know receivers are very inexpensive these days. Like there's many countries that are that it's exploding. I get like notifications from Africa all the time where people say free to air is exploding, and it's becoming a real big thing there. So definitely receivers, and the dish is really not that expensive. Depends on how much you want to spend. You can find one of these things used sometimes, or you can. I recommend just buying brand new. It's not that expensive to get one of these new. As I said, find a dish in the LMB, coax, and then there's the receiver you need to find. So like this is just essentially it's like an antenna, just an antenna pointed in a direction in space to get a signal that bounces off an extraterrestrial spacecraft called a satellite, and it receives it to the dish, and the signal, the dish collects the signal. It's just a metal dish. There's no electronic part to this. It's just the reflector, and it sends it to this part here, which is the LMB. That basically this is like an antenna. It just has like a little antenna inside it, and it picks up the signal and sends it down to your receiver. So that's simply how it works. It's actually quite simple. And then when you're aiming it, you might want to bring your receiver and a little small TV set outside, and just aim your dish to set up the appropriate frequencies to the transponder you're looking for, and then aim it to that, and then you'll get lifelong worth of free TV. Another thing I should mention with Smile the Child, it still broadcasts in MPEG-2. They really should be going to H.264 or H.265, but as of the recording of this video, it still is MPEG-2. So if you do have an older receiver, say one that's about 10 years old, like a DVB-S receiver, it probably will still work for Smile the Child and for most of the channels on Galaxy 19. There's more and more channels that are going to H.264, MPEG-4, or even H.265 that's starting to become a thing. But even if you have an old receiver that maybe you found at a garage sale, you thought, but you don't know exactly how to set it up, I do recommend don't spend more than $5 for one of those receivers, considering the fact that you can buy a brand new one like this for like between $100 and $50. I'd recommend spending the extra money on a good receiver instead of an old obsolete garage sale receiver that hasn't been used in 5 to 10 years. So, all right, well, so please click on the videos around here at the end of the video. And always give my video a like, please, and subscribe, and share it with all your friends on how to, if you want to tell your friends how to get Smile the Child for your children. Thank you.